Thanking everybody who's joined in so far. We'll obviously be talking about Tim Banks, the long-awaited firing of Timothy Banks. Jim, I know when it happened, you were probably doing jumping jacks. It was a nice surprise to see it cross my phone when I was working on Monday afternoon.
Well, I found out from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you were like, finally, or whatever you said, and I was like,
I said
it's got to be one thing.
I said the same thing I tweeted. I said the war is over.
The war is over. So I'm taking it as a huge win. I think this shows how much Heupel cares. Because
Yeah.
if he didn't make that move, he would have been on the hot seat next year.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said it last week. He still might. I mean, I think he still is. You're going to have to show some kind of progress next year, but they would have added to the hotness of the seat if it was still Tim Banks there for sure. So I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's good news that Josh Heupel finally did something he's literally never done before in firing someone. I mean, every time somebody's left, it's either they've taken a new job or retired or whatnot. This is the first time he's fired someone, and it's a good step. I personally hope he's not done. You know, with a lot of positions over there. We won't get into that tonight, but it is a very good sign. And whether it was Danny White leaning on him or him just making the decision on his own, I don't care how it happened. I'm just happy it happened because we reached a breaking point with Tim Banks. And I think the whole fan base had, and it would have been ugly if things went south next year with him still up there in the booth.
Well, you even said it before we started recording about you showed a video of those guys in the booth up there for the defense, and it was just like they were miserable and hated their jobs.
Yeah, it looked very low T in that booth whenever the camera panned to it, like just 1,000-yard stares.
Yeah, so I really look forward to, depending, I think it's going to be Walters, and we'll talk about each candidate and all that, but I want a guy like Walters, and I'll start off with him because he's the big talk of the town today. Yeah. So, but Walters is on the field, in their face, and you mess up, he's in your grill, he's trying to coach you and fix that issue right away. Mm-hmm. Rather than a guy being in the booth that has to wait till halftime. I don't even know if Tim Banks would go down to the locker room at halftime. Honestly.
Surely to God he did. I mean, he had to, right? I mean,
you would think.
Halftime's 20 minutes. You can get down there for a 5-minute pep talk. So, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I think we need someone like that that's on the field, has that young energy to him. I mean, he's got a proven track record of. Hold on, actually, I have the stats. So if you have anything to say about him,
yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about Walters now, but I have my personal hot board, and then we'll go over Eric Kane's most recent hot board that he posted today from VaultQuest. But go ahead, Jim.
Well, I'm just going to pull up a post from Kerry Williams. He posted this. I found this really interesting. And I get Washington plays lesser opponents. They don't play an SEC schedule, blah, blah, blah. But
it's also less talent.
Yeah, so Tennessee allowed 345 total points. Washington allowed 233. Big difference, whopping difference. Tennessee gave up 104 rushing first downs. Washington gave up 67. Washington allowed 606 less rushing yards than Tennessee. Tennessee gave up 23 passing touchdowns. Washington only gave up 16. Tennessee totaled 856 defensive plays. Washington only had 774, so pretty even. Tennessee gave up 43 touchdowns on the season. Washington gave up 26. That's literally about half.
Yeah, you're inching near half there, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee gave up 395.5 yards per game. Washington gave up 311. So, and then one more is Tennessee gave up 4,746 total yards this season. Washington cut that by 1,000.
Damn.
That is a huge, huge difference.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee, think about it, they could have won a bunch of the games we lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
we lost 3 one-score games. No, we lost 2 one-score games. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the only stat that I think is irrelevant there is the plays thing because of just our offense. I think he's going to face more plays no matter what. But every other stat is substantially better. And
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and all the reporting, all the tea leaves tell you that this is the number one guy right now. And if he hasn't been offered the job already, I would be surprised. I don't know anything, but
per Dick Bomb, he has been offered the job, and I trust Richard. He has not been wrong.
You said Dick Bomb.
Yeah, Dick Bomb. That's exactly right.
But you're right. I mean, Richard G. West is rarely wrong these days. And I'm glad. If that's his first option and we get him, I'm thrilled because all those stats you just mentioned, the fact that he's young, on the sidelines, and he's everywhere he's been, he's gotten it better. The only thing bad about him is that he failed miserably as a head coach, but we're not hiring a head coach.
Correct. First. That's where that kind of deletes it out. Like, I understand he just wasn't a good offensive coach in my opinion, and then just having to focus on the defense, I feel like he'd be a fantastic hire.
Yeah.
And agree. I mean, Heupel runs offense, and he wants that guy to take control of the defense to where Josh doesn't have to worry about that as much.
Yeah,
and that'd be the perfect guy, or one of the perfect guys. I mean, there's plenty of guys that I think could also be a good fit mix, and we'll talk about them. So,
yeah, I'll just throw out the names that I came up with. Jim already told you a few the other day when this first happened. I mean, the first guy that came to my mind, and I think a lot of people's minds, as far as I was just watching a lot of SEC football as Tennessee fans, was Will Muschamp, which to me is the psycho candidate. If you want somebody who's going to be passionate, he's your guy. Only problem is he's down at Georgia, his alma mater, and he took a step back. It was either last year or the year before from a co-DC and safeties coach to an analyst. He said spend more time with family. If he has the itch to be a DC again, maybe. I don't know. I do think it would take a pretty hefty offer to get him here, but I think that's necessary at this point for this program. The safe candidate to me is Mark Stoops. I know this is kind of the same deal with Walters. But the head coach, you obviously wouldn't want him here, but he runs a good defense. And the stuff he did at Kentucky was remarkable for the time he was there. And the veteran candidate, in my opinion, was Jim Knowles, the guy, Ohio State's coordinator last year, Penn State's coordinator this year. I don't really take much into stock what happened at Penn State this year because it was just a disaster all around. I don't really blame him much for that. I would be fine with Jim Knowles. And my young, exciting candidate was Ryan Walters. We already talked about him. And finally, the Tennessee guy was Gerard Mayo. I think that's a long shot. I know we tweeted it the other day. I mean, if you wanted – and he's also a young candidate too, but he's been out of a job for this past year. He's never called a defense before. He's never coached in college before. So that's the long shot to me. Yeah. And I mentioned to you, I think he would be a good recruiter because he's young and went to the school, and I think he would be very passionate. But you're getting down to, instead of a home run hire, you're getting down to a base hit hire there to me.
Yeah. I mean, between all those names, to me, Walters is the guy. I mean,
I agree.
I think Josh Heupel agrees too. I obviously don't know anything about it, but I feel like you know how he coaches. You've been in the same, coach's tree as him in the past. So you know how, he works. And again, we talked about it, what he's done throughout the years as a defensive coordinator has all been good. There hasn't been really a bad thing about him. I mean, and we talked about his head coaching, stint. He was at Purdue in the NIL era. I mean,
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So, I mean, my thing is, I think he's the guy just because of his on the field presence. He has a clear history of being a good defensive guy, and Josh Heupel's tree. I mean, he's been in the same room as him before. And again, I don't think it's a buddy hire. I
Mm-mm.
don't think they're buddies. I think it's more of like, hey, I have respect for you. I know you're a good, coach, analyst, whatever he was under him. But I think this is, like you said, the home run hire.
Yeah, I
So
would agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care if it's a buddy hire. If your buddy is Nick Saban or Don Shula, if the guy is proven, hire him. I mean, he can be your friend all day long. But whether they're buddies or not, like you said, I think it would be a terrific hire. As far as the most recent hot board that Eric Kane put out today, it was 12 hours ago. Top of the list is Ryan Walters, which I think is, again, the tea leaves and everything pointed to him being the most likely guy right now. Travaris Robinson at Georgia, he's co-DC and safeties coach. Clayton White at South Carolina, defense coordinator. I would not be thrilled with that. I mean, their defense has been good at times this past year and the year before, but I'm good there. I don't know what you think about that. Next would be Corey Batoon at Missouri, who had a good defense this year. They were number 10 in total defense. Colton Hitchler at James Madison, they are allowing they allowed 250 yards per game this year in the Sun Belt. And then the last name that Eric Kane put out today was Jim Knowles. So two of the guys that were in our minds are there. So any thoughts on those names that we haven't talked about yet?
no, I'm stuck on Ryan Walters.
Yeah, I think that's fair at this point. Until we get a I think Ryan Walters is that. So.
Yeah, let me just say some more stats that of Walters that will Tennessee fans should find intriguing, and this is coming from the Washington's bio about him. But before his arrival with the Illini, which is funny how we're playing Illinois in the bowl game, which is kind of hilarious. But before his arrival in 2020, the Illini ranked 97th in FBS in scoring defense and number 114 in total defense. In his first year, those rankings improved to number 29 and 49, respectively, in 2022. He coached the Illinois defensive. They didn't typo. He coached the Illinois defense to the national number 1 ranking in scoring defense and number 2 in total defense. I mean, and they're playing Ohio State. They're playing, Penn State, and Illinois played great defense that year. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at his stats, it's just insane on the defensive side of the ball. This is the guy I want.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in the boat now, and I am too. I think this would be a great hire. If you're asking me, I think Heupel has talked to him before Monday about this. Yes. I mean, I think he wouldn't have done what he did in firing Tim Banks if he didn't have conversations beforehand. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But just to wrap up the defensive coordinator conversation, like we started with, this is a great sign. And I hope he's not done with changes. It doesn't even have to be staff changes. It's just changes to what you're doing around the program. I hope he's not finished.
Who would you want to be finished?
I still think Joey Halsey does not deserve to be the office coordinator. I don't think he has the balls to tell Josh what he's doing is dumb. If it is dumb, because he's his protege. I don't think he is very, very valuable. He might be good as a quarterback coach just based on what Joey was able to do this year, but as the title of OC at Tennessee, maybe it doesn't even mean much, but I would like a guy there who's going to challenge him. And maybe Alex Golesh did. I don't know. I just think we need to change there too.
All right. See, I'm on board with Willie Martinez going. But let me tell you something about that, though, is I think we will see some changes on the defensive coaching side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever gets it. But I think if Walters comes, he's going to pick and choose who he's going to keep. Now, Inge, I think he should keep. I mean, he's a great recruiter. Look at the linebacker classes he's bringing in. And I mean, I'd keep him. Obviously, Rodney Garner, you're going to keep. But everything points to Willie Martinez for me. But
I don't share the same resentment for Willie Martinez that a lot of people do. I think he's been good here. This year, all you got to do is talk about Ty Redmond, just what he was able to do. He wasn't a highly regarded recruit, and he came out today. He's third team All SEC, which is pretty good as a freshman. If Ryan Walters wants to bring in whoever he wants to bring in, I don't care who he wants to bring in to replace Inge, Martinez, or even Garner. I mean, I would love to keep Garner. I think just having the street cred of Rodney Garner, he's one of the best position coaches of the last 40 years.
And recruiters.
Surely Ryan Walters would want to keep him, but if he doesn't, I am for change.
Well, I was going to say, at that point, you have to be okay with change. I think Garner and Inge are just the two that I would just say, like, all right, like, I'd be happy with you keeping them. I don't see him getting rid of Garner just because of
I don't either. And
again, we don't know that Walter's going to be the coach. I'm just saying, most likely, if it were me, and this is Tennessee bias out, if you were offering me a job and I was sitting at Washington and Tennessee comes a knocking, I'm leaving. It's more money, better conference, and better opportunity. I mean, if he shows out as a defensive coordinator, I mean, who knows? He could get another head coaching gig somewhere eventually,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's a good sign that Washington fans don't want this to happen. That's always good. It's kind of like us shopping Tim Banks around for every open Group of 5 job the last week. I mean, if they were doing that, then I would be hesitant to be on board with this, but they are begging to keep him. So, any more thoughts on the defense coordinator stuff?
No, but remember the last time this happened when a team didn't want their player to leave, Colton Hood, and he was an absolute gem for Tennessee. So think about it in that aspect. But no, that's it. I think Walter's the home run hire.
Mm-hmm.
There's other names that might pop up. I think it's Walter's job unless he says no.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's it for me on that.
So now I do want to talk about because we recorded on Tuesday like always, and signing day was the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk a little bit about that. First off, the biggest thing to me is we went from 8th in the SEC to 3rd in the SEC as far as the class ranking. 11th nationally to 7th nationally. Depending on where you look, it's even inching up to the top 5. I think once you get top 5, you can split the difference in most cases, especially this year, just when you look at the star breakdowns. But
yeah,
we had a lot of flips. We, according to 247, we have 3 5 stars. And by the way, I don't know what Rivals is doing, but they have us with 0 5 stars, so that's a little annoying. ESPN has us with 2 5 stars, but any way you slice it, this was a great class. It's Josh Heupel's best class. It's Tennessee's best class, and God knows how long. I haven't really dove into it that much. All I know is there's a lot of talent coming in. And what do you think about it?
I mean, you have your quarterback of the future. I'm going to be honest, and we'll talk about this, a bunch in the near future, but quarterback next year, it's not going to be Faison Brandon, and it's not going to be George McIntyre. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're on the same page as me, but you have your future quarterback right here in Faison Brandon, 5-star. Dude could throw the ball, great athlete, great. Then he's got 4 wide receivers in this class that honestly, I think one of them is an athlete. Yeah, Joel Wyatt's an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
But between Legend Bay and Tristan Keys and come on, Tyreek King.
Tyreek King, yep.
So, I mean, you got a good future. You got a great linebacker class in this class. Solid 5-star offensive tackle. Osenda's an absolute beast. And like I said,
Six,
linebackers,
6'7", 345 is crazy
that's
for
that's a
Osenda.
big old boy.
Yeah.
I mean, even you have Kamari Blair too. I mean, almost 6'6", 280, big kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, great class. A lot of surprises at the end on signing day. I mean, Legend Bay was. I mean, we talk about his scenario, which I think is all bullcrap, and someone hacked his account or something because he literally was on the phone with Josh Heupel during signing day talking about how he wanted to come to Tennessee. So
Yeah, I'll just say the exact quote because I was going to bring it up.
yeah.
Austin Price said today in a radio interview with the 104.5 The Zone in Nashville, he reached out to Tennessee on signing day, wanted back in. He's on the phone when he signs the papers, the scholarship papers. Josh Heupel comes in there and meets the media. Shortly after that, I text and he says he'll do the interview. He calls me. We're on the phone. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's being held hostage. So
I never thought he was, to be honest. I just thought
that whole thing was weird. Okay, it seemed like a lot of gaslighting from Ohio State fans. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah,
because they were hurt that we flipped them at the 11th hour. So,
which everyone would be. So,
and obviously the Moa ending up at Utah, which I think everybody expected in the hours leading up to that made us go back to Bay. Or I mean, I'm sure we were trying the whole time to flip him back, but once Bay saw that, he probably thought, my spot there is now more reliable than it would have been with Mo there. Also, I've heard a lot about Legend Bay possibly playing running back, which I think would be awesome. And you mentioned Joel Wyatt earlier. I think his landing spot should be safety. I think that's where you want him. Maybe not as a day one starter. I think you probably go to the portal for that, but I think his future at Tennessee will be at safety.
now, and I was listening to VolQuest earlier talking about, and you're talking about safeties. I'm kind of bringing up the portal situation too, but like hypothetically, we get Walters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were talking about how many guys do you see hitting the portal because of something like that. I honestly don't see a lot of people leaving. I think you're going to see a lot of like people that just want to go to like smaller schools, get some playing time type thing. But I mean, all these young kids coming into the program are phenomenal athletes. And you're talking about one right there. Joel Wyatt, I think, is not slept on. I don't think he's being slept on. I think, he's a 4-star for a reason. But this kid is good. If you watch this tape, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, he's going to be really, really good. And I think if you get a guy like Walters in to, coach him up, I think the sky's the limit for this defense because Perlotti, you're talking Rouse, you're talking all these young kids on the defense, phenomenal. I mean, Arian Carter's coming back. Kid's is absolute stud, obviously. But yeah, the classes that Josh Heupel is putting together, this is the second best class in school history right here.
Really?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what I read. My mouse is dead, so I can't even look.
It's all good.
But anyway, you got a stout of a class here. And Legend Bay, by the way, is a quarterback in high school.
Yeah, I think that deal was let's put the most athletic guy at quarterback. I've heard he was the fastest player in Texas, so that's always a good thing. But yeah,
which,
I mean,
Texas has a lot of talent.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, my thing is you're talking about putting a running back. Think about those trick plays you could do with a kid that has played quarterback before.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing because I'm afraid Peyton Lewis might transfer.
I can see it.
I'm kind of bracing for that because Bishop has just taken the reins so forcefully in that
Dwayne
room.
Dwayne Morris
great.
Going to be great.
And obviously Morris was getting those snaps because Lewis was injured, but he hadn't done much leading up to that. I don't know if he was nursing that injury for a while before he was out, but I'm bracing for Peyton Lewis transferring. I don't know anything, but I'm just bracing for that. But that's another reason I would like to see Bay get get a shot back there. I mean, and obviously, the last guy I want to mention, you can't mention this class without mentioning the staff's job of flipping Keys from LSU to Tennessee. Tristan Keys, 5-star receiver. He probably has the best chance to start day one out of anybody in the class, in my opinion.
It'll be tough. I mean, to me, just between Travis Smith Jr., Radar, and then you got again out of the group coming in, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be hard to get playing time in that wide receiver core, and then if you get a quarterback that's worth something, and I know I've seen a lot. I don't think there's a lot of steam with this, but like the Arizona State guy, a lot of people want him, and I mean the kid's good. We saw him when he had Scadaboo on his team. The kid was a great quarterback that year.
You're talking about Sam Levitt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Tennessee's going to need to go get a guy because you can't go into the season with 2 freshmen.
You can, but it would be scary.
Yeah, sorry, Jake Merklinger is probably going to transfer.
Yeah, and I think we said it in our last show when we were commiserating the Vanderbilt loss and that Syracuse loss in basketball. It was a negative show last week. It's all good. Vibes are a lot better now. I'll just go ahead and say that. But hell, I already lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyway, any more thoughts on the signing class?
No, I think Tennessee's looking real good with bringing people in, and I think be prepared for a heavy defensive side transfer portal. I
think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I expect not necessarily the linebackers. I don't think we're going to get any linebackers, but I expect defensive line, defensive tackles, and DBs, obviously.
Yeah, but I think we got a few tackles last year in the class. I mean, I guess some of them might be strong side ends, but Marion Dye and Ethan Utley are good prospects. I think they will be good at Tennessee.
Isaiah Campbell.
Yeah, all those guys. I think you still need to go get some beef in the portal on the defensive line because a lot of the guys in this class are edge guys, rushers, and I don't even know if I want linebackers at all in the portal because we've killed it the last 2 recruiting classes as far as linebackers go. I mean, we have a lot of talent that's going to have to duke it out for snaps. If you want experience, that's fine, but
and we talked about it, Ryan, last time. Like Thielander
might be getting recruited over at this point. I mean, we're recruiting at a way better level than we were when Thielander signed at Tennessee. I mean, that's not crazy to say. I love him. I think he loves Tennessee, but he's just not fast enough to me. I mean, I hate to say it because, like I said, I think he loves Tennessee, but if he wants to stay and be the veteran guy and play special teams, that's fine. But I think we need to upgrade from Jeremiah Thielander at linebacker. I mean, that's all I'll say about that. But moving on, what else do I got tonight? Oh, let's just get into this because this might take a while, and I'll pull it up real quick. But your thoughts, your main takeaways from the final playoff rankings as far as the who got snubbed and all that good stuff, Jim?
I don't think anyone got snubbed. I think I understand Notre Dame's 10-2, but you want a conference. I mean,
it's pretty simple.
It's simple as that. Now, obviously, as a Tennessee fan, I hate Alabama, but they beat Georgia earlier in the year, and they lost in a conference championship game. So I understand why they didn't move. Miami, they're in a conference. I think that's like the only. I think that's the only reason that they got in over Notre Dame.
Yeah,
but I agree. Now I agree on one thing with Notre Dame fans. I would 110% rather Notre Dame be in than JMU or Tulane.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, we've seen it for 2 years now. I mean, and this is even worse than last year. We have two group 5 teams in now.
Mhm.
I don't know what we're doing here, because if you want to pretend that James Madison and Tulane are two of the 12 best teams in the country, that's fine. I would like to smoke whatever you're smoking, but this is just not the goal of a 12-team playoff to me. I mean, there's teams like Notre Dame. Hell, I'll even say like Vanderbilt, who deserve that spot more than Tulane and James Madison.
100%.
I,
If you could put in Notre Dame and Vanderbilt right there, the playoffs would kind of be really interesting.
yeah, I mean, I think Oregon's a 21-point favorite in a playoff game. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. 21 and a half, actually, and Ole Miss is 17 and a half point favorite. Plus,
stupid.
I may be mistaken. I think Ole Miss played Tulane this year and beat them 45-10. I mean, how much is that going to change? So it's just odd. As far as Notre Dame goes, it reminds me a lot of what Florida State did after they didn't get in, after going 13-0, and their quarterback got injured. I can't remember his name, Travis something, at the end of 2023. And at least they're not opting out of a bowl game. I mean
that is a bitch move.
And me and Bryce were talking about this earlier today. I mean, I don't understand bowl games don't mean a lot to people anymore. Your fans are incentivized by if you're in the playoffs or not. That's fine. It just seems to me Notre Dame doesn't want to have a repeat of what happened to FSU, because FSU cried for a month. Then they get to their bowl game against Georgia and get absolutely skull drug. I don't think they.
Like, oh, look, see, we told you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they want any part of that. I think that's the only reason they're not doing it. To me, it's reckless and irresponsible as a program to decide not to be in a bowl game if you're invited to a bowl. I can understand not doing it if you're 5-7, feel like you didn't earn it. That's fine. I wouldn't want Tennessee to go to a bowl if they were 5-7. That's just my personal opinion. But if you're 6-6 or better, and you deny 15 extra practices and a chance to play young guys in the bowl game, I think you're being reckless when it comes to the future of your program. Simple as that.
And we didn't even talk about BYU. I think BYU could have been in too. I understand they lost to Texas Tech, but
yeah. And as far as the bowl game thing goes, I saw a lot of Tennessee fans, upset we were in the Music City Bowl again. I mean, I don't know what y'all expected. I mean, we were 8-4. I mean, that's.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and I told this to Bryce. The only reason I care about the bowl game is what I just said: 15 more practices for the young guys and a chance to see people, prove their worth as far as the young guys on the roster. I think we said a week ago we don't really want Joey to play the bowl game. We want to see if GMAC has it.
Yeah, I don't even want to see Merklinger out there. I don't give George the ball. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean that's the I don't want Tennessee to ever opt out of a ball game if they're 6-6 or better. I think that's crazy to punt on those extra practices. So, but anyway, Notre Dame's whole thing where they're blaming the ACC, and first of all, why would the ACC not do this for comparing Miami and Notre Dame on their official accounts or whatever on X, and saying, look at this, they beat them head to head, and they also have better this, and this. Yeah, they're going to pump up the guy who's actually in their conference. Imagine that. You know how much money the ACC would have lost if none of their teams made it? It's a lot of money. I mean, it's a ton of money for every school. Of course, the committee, and I'm sure there's ACC guys on that committee, were going to put in Miami over Notre Dame. Because you know what? Notre Dame doesn't have the backing of a conference. So the only bias you get is from Notre Dame. It's not all these other schools who get a piece of that money too. It makes perfect sense. Join a conference. This isn't 1902 when you were barnstorming across the country because everybody didn't like Catholics back then. We're 100 years away from that. Join a conference.
100% agree. And stop putting in JMU and Tulane's. Because you gave Ole Miss and Oregon get a free pass to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think eventually, if it were me, you know what I would do? Bring back the BCS computers and put in the 12 teams who are top 12 in that. Don't even let bias come into it. That's what I would do if I was a college football dictator.
Here's my opinion: is keep everything the same. Go to 16 teams, and I don't care. The group of 4 conference champs get the buys or whatever, which is fair, and then literally go in like AP poll fashion. I mean,
I don't know if I want journalists deciding it though.
No, but I'm saying like have a computer, like what you just said. Have a computer with all the stats, all the strength of record, strength of schedule. Make a top 16, whatever the number would be, and that's your playoffs. I mean,
no, I mean the main gripe with the BCS deal, those 15 or so years, was sometimes somebody would get left out who was worthy, like your Oklahoma State in 2011 when it was LSU versus Bama, or I think 2004 there was a team that deserved a shot too. But when you stretch it out to 12 teams and you're going off computers, I mean, how many people are going to have a gripe if you're just going off hard data, or even 16? I think if you spread it out from more than just 2 teams, the BCS would not be that bad. That's my personal opinion. I mean, it's hard to argue with hard data when you're talking about 16 teams.
I am stoked for the first round, though, between Alabama and Oklahoma and A&M and Miami.
I think A&M Miami will be a really good game. I'm afraid Alabama is going to take care of Oklahoma.
I think Alabama is getting to the semis. Well, if they get to the semis, they're getting to the Natty, in my opinion.
It's because they would play
Indiana in the quarters.
Indiana, and then they'd play either Texas Tech, James Madison, Texas Tech, or Oregon. So
I'm just saying. I'm not saying Alabama's going to beat Indiana. I'm just saying if they do beat Indiana, I think Alabama will be in the national title game.
Yeah, I mean, because all they'd have to do is beat Oregon or Texas Tech.
Now, who got the shit end of the stick was Ohio State, because they're gonna have to they're going to play Miami or A&M,
and then Georgia or
Ole Miss,
yeah,
and then probably Alabama, Oregon, or Indiana. I don't think Oklahoma's going to win. I hate it. I like Oklahoma fans better than Alabama fans, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, Oklahoma has the defense, man.
Yes.
I just don't know if they have the offense to make it very far in a playoff scenario. I mean, Alabama did get drilled by Georgia. I mean, but that's the reason I think they're going to come out ready to play. And when are those games? They're the end of next week, right? Yeah. I mean, I think Alabama's going to take care of business there. But yeah, Ohio State is tough. But then you look at last year, their road on paper was tough too. So maybe the talent wins out again. If you were asking me who wins it right now, I'm probably picking Georgia.
I'd say so. If Lane Kiffin didn't leave Ole Miss, I would take Ole Miss as a sleeper.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it's between 3 teams. And I think it's
the top 3.
Go 4. No. My 4 are Georgia, Ohio State, A&M. They're all in that same bracket over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good chance of those 3 right there. And then I think Bama, Indiana on the top half of the bracket.
That's fair, yeah. I don't think I disagree with you at all.
Oh, and think about the headlines. Kirk Cignetti, imagine he wins. Imagine he goes and what is it, year 2 for Cignetti?
Yeah.
And he's won a national champion at Indiana.
With like the 70-something ranked roster in terms of talent. He's awesome.
Coach.
It may be really they are a better team than 72nd in talent just because of their scouting and hitting in the portal and developing players, but either way you cut it, I mean, that's a crazy good job he's done at Indiana. Lastly tonight, unless you have anything else, some news yesterday. Not great for the basketball team, but Cade Phillips is out for the year with his shoulder injury. He's been dealing with it part of last year and the beginning of this year. And I think you said this could be a blessing in disguise, Jim.
Yeah, no hate to Cade Phillips. I just, other than alley oops and occasional blocks here and there, he's not really a huge asset to the team. He is a nice depth piece to have. But I mean, between Okpara, who's played poorly recently, Carey,
everybody's played like ass the last 3 games. Okay.
Yeah. The teams look terrible, but between Carey, who's been playing really well, he's probably been playing the best on the team.
Yeah.
And Estrella getting healthy, the team will be fine depth wise. I really do think that. But they got to wake up, man, because, and don't get me wrong, they're playing good teams. They are playing very good teams. You beat Houston. I don't know what happened after that Houston game, because remember, Ryan, we were talking about it after the fact. You beat Houston, and we're like, oh my God, like this team's about to do a lot of good things. And 3 losses in a row, the good teams, and you're not like the next game's Louisville.
Yeah, the best thing about that is you get it at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're playing good teams, but and losing. But the frustrating thing is, like you said, we saw them beat Houston. We know they have good performances in them. They're just not doing it for whatever reason. Maybe they read the clippings after that win on Tuesday night, and I mean, but that's kind of irrelevant because you played the very next day. How much time did you have to read anything? I think they just relaxed a little bit and just got their eye off the ball in these last 3 games. I mean, there's plenty of time to figure it out, but they do not look good right now. I mean, it's tough. But like you said, if you beat Louisville, I think a lot of people are going to relax because then you would have, I think it's 2 or 3 more games till conference play, and then the real season starts. So that Louisville game is important because if you get through that, you will have gone 1-4 in the real games you've played, or 2-4 in the real games you've played against Power 5 opponents before conference play, which would not be great. So please beat Louisville. But like you said, Cade, I think he's worth having around if he's 100% healthy. But if he's not been good, and I think the shoulder is the biggest reason why. So, yeah, like you said, it's a blessing in disguise. I mean, I don't want him to ruin his career because he's trying to gut out, 5 points and 7 rebounds a game, because that's about all he can do right now. So, anything else tonight, man?
Nope. I look forward. I honestly think this defensive coordinator thing is going to play out within the next.
I think, yeah, by the end of this week, we should have an answer.
When does Washington play their bowl game?
It's a good question. I'll bring it up real quick.
I got it. They play Saturday. Yeah, so they play Saturday against Boise State. So I'm assuming the latest will be Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
I
think a good Friday news dump for Ryan Walters, which I don't know why we want to do that, because that's a really good hire, but maybe it comes sooner. I just think by the end of this week you're going to have an answer one way or the other. So
yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll have this up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts tomorrow, and go Vols.
Go Vols, baby.